When South Africa locked Rassie Erasmus into a contract until 2031, the rest of the rugby world felt something shift. Not just another coaching agreement, not just another extension, this was a statement that changes the entire landscape of international rugby for the next 6 years. While other nations scramble to find answers, South Africa just secured the one man who has consistently delivered results when it matters most. The announcement came through official channels, but the implications spread far beyond the boardroom. Rassie Erasmus, the architect behind back-to-back World Cup victories in 2019 and 2023, will now lead the Springboks through 2 more World Cup cycles, including the 2027 tournament in Australia and the 2031 edition in the United States. 6 more years of the same leadership that transformed South Africa from a team in crisis into the most dominant force in world rugby. Think about what that means. While coaching carousels spin endlessly across Europe, while Southern Hemisphere rivals cycle through different voices and strategies, South Africa gets continuity, they get consistency, they get the one coach who understands exactly how to win when everything is on the line. The extension wasn't complicated either. Erasmus himself described it as a quick and easy conversation to reach agreement. No drama, no negotiations dragging through the press, just a mutual understanding that what they have built together is too valuable to dismantle. SA Rugby President Mark Alexander made it clear during the announcement to member unions that this decision reflects more than just recent success. It acknowledges the enduring impact Erasmus has made in shaping the identity of South African rugby. Under his guidance since taking the reins in early 2018, the Springboks haven't just won titles, they have established a culture, refined a playing style that maximizes their strengths, and created systems that produce world-class players consistently. The numbers tell part of the story: 2 World Cups, multiple rugby championship titles, 3 straight seasons finishing as the top-ranked team in the world, a winning percentage around 70% across all competitions. But statistics alone don't capture what makes this extension so significant. What really matters is the identity Erasmus has embedded into South African rugby, a style built around physicality, tactical intelligence, and resilience. A bench strategy that other nations tried to copy, an ability to adapt game plans while maintaining core principles, and now all of that stays in place through 2031. Meanwhile, other major rugby nations face uncertainty. New coaches bring new philosophies, new systems, new learning curves. Players must adjust, teams must rebuild chemistry. Results become unpredictable during transition periods. South Africa just eliminated that variable for the next 6 years, and the timing couldn't be more calculated. Consider the landscape Erasmus inherited back in 2018. The Springboks were struggling with consistency, coming off a period where results didn't match expectations, where the pathway between provincial rugby and international success felt disconnected. He stepped in as director of rugby, then took over as head coach, and within 2 years had delivered a World Cup title. That wasn't luck, that was systematic transformation. He identified what made South African rugby unique, then built everything around those strengths instead of trying to copy what worked for other nations. The physical approach, the bomb squad bench strategy, the tactical flexibility that allowed them to dominate different opponents in different ways. Other coaches talked about innovation. Erasmus actually delivered it, then proved it worked at the highest level repeatedly. What separates this extension from typical coaching contracts is the strategic vision behind it. Alexander specifically mentioned that securing Erasmus ensures continuity in leadership, while investing in long-term stability of technical systems, player pathways, and competitive ambitions. That language matters. This isn't just about keeping a successful coach, it's about maintaining an entire ecosystem that produces results. Provincial franchises, development programs, talent identification systems, all aligned under a consistent philosophy for the next 6 years. No reset, no rebuilding, just continuous evolution within a proven framework. For rival nations, that presents a problem with no obvious solution. How do you compete against a system that gets stronger and more refined each year? New Zealand, Australia, England, France, Ireland, they all have talented players and quality coaching, but they face the challenge of integration, of building chemistry under new management structures, of hoping their approach works when tested at World Cup level. South Africa already knows their approach works. They've proven it twice in the last 6 years, and now they get to keep building on that foundation. The extension also sends a message about stability in an era where coaching tenures keep getting shorter. Pressure for immediate results means coaches rarely get the time needed to fully implement their vision. Erasmus gets 6 more years. 6 years to develop the next generation of players within systems they already understand. 6 years to refine tactics that already proved successful. 6 years to prepare specifically for 2 World Cup campaigns without worrying about job security between tournaments. That kind of security allows for long-term planning that simply isn't possible when coaches work tournament to tournament. Think about the player development implication. Young prospects entering the system now know exactly who will be leading the team through their prime years. They learn one style, one philosophy, one set of expectations. By the time they reach test level, they're stepping into a system they already understand, surrounded by teammates who learned the same principles. That creates cohesion and understanding that takes years to develop. And South Africa just guaranteed they won't lose it.
The contract extension also reveals something about Erasmus himself. He stated clearly that he would find it hard to coach any other international team, emphasizing his happiness to continue as long as the South African public wants him. That commitment matters in an era where successful coaches constantly field offers from wealthier unions or club competitions. He could name his price almost anywhere in world rugby. Instead, he's staying with the Springboks through 2031, focused on building something that lasts beyond individual tournaments. That loyalty creates reciprocal trust between coach and union, between leadership and players, between the entire rugby structure and the national team. You can't manufacture that kind of alignment. Alexander's comments about Erasmus refining a style of play uniquely suited to South Africa's strengths reveals the deeper strategy at work. This isn't about copying what works elsewhere. It's about maximizing what makes South African rugby different. The physicality that other nations struggle to match. The tactical intelligence that adapts to different opponents. The resilience that shows up when contests get tight. Erasmus identified those elements, then constructed an entire approach around leveraging them. Now he gets 6 more years to push that philosophy even further, to find new ways to exploit those advantages as the game evolves.
What makes this extension genuinely threatening to rival nations isn't just Erasmus staying, it's what that continuity enables across the entire South African rugby structure. Provincial franchises know who they're developing players for and what style those players need to master. The national coaching staff can plan long-term without worrying about regime change. Young talent coming through age-grade competition sees a clear pathway to test rugby under consistent leadership. That alignment creates efficiency that compounds over time. While other nations deal with transition periods, South Africa keeps building momentum. The comment about this being a vote of confidence in Erasmus's proven ability to deliver results, refine strategy and inspire Cypher generations reveals the full scope of what this extension secures. Results on the field matter, obviously. 2 World Cups and consistent ranking as the top team globally prove that Erasmus delivers when it counts. But the strategic refinement, the ability to adjust tactics while maintaining core identity, that's what separates good coaches from great ones. And inspiring future generations means the impact extends beyond his tenure. The players he develops, the coaches who learn under him, the systems he establishes. South Africa isn't just securing 6 more years of Erasmus, they're securing the foundation for decades of sustained excellence. For nations hoping to dethrone South Africa, the path just got steeper. It's not impossible. Rugby at the highest level always provides surprises, but the task now involves not just beating a talented team, but overcoming a system that keeps improving under proven leadership. That's exponentially harder than facing a team in transition or a new coach implementing unfamiliar tactics. South Africa's opponents know exactly what they're facing, and knowing doesn't make it easier to stop. The extension also removes one potential distraction. No speculation about Erasmus's future, no rumors about other jobs. No questions about whether success might lead him elsewhere. Players can focus entirely on performance instead of wondering about coaching changes. Management can plan multiple seasons ahead without hedging against leadership changes. Other nations study South African tactics, try to copy their strategies, adjust their own approaches in response. The extension through 2031 means that influence continues and potentially grows. South Africa isn't just winning contests, they're shaping how elite rugby gets played worldwide. So when you see that contract announcement, understand what it really means. 6 more years of the most successful coach in modern rugby history, leading the most consistently dominant team, within a system designed to maximize their unique strengths.
For South Africa's supporters, that's everything they hoped for. For everyone else trying to compete at the highest level, that's the definition of game over.